Hello everyone, my name is Rosalind Streeter. I am a seer and prophet of God to the nations. Thank you for coming by my channel. Welcome to the Journey of Vision, where you will soon learn that it's just so much easier with God. So let's chat. Okay you guys, so I am back with another prophetic dream. And what I want to do is just give you the prophetic dream, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it like we always do. All right, so here we go. Now, and with this one is called Prepare Now, and it's time to plant. And just so you're aware with my other videos, because there's more coming out that says Prepare Now, just know that is related to what God is saying in this season, what we have to move forward with and start preparing for. So that way we can actually be comfortable. And by the way, he showed me what is coming, so I'm gonna share that too. Okay, so here we go. So I remember I was actually with family and friends, okay? And I had this garden. I remember having this garden. And the garden had like strawberries and green beans. And there is other, fruits and vegetables there as well. I just can't remember all of it. But I did remember there is this area that was, it was just more so a place where I can actually plant more. So with one of my family friends, she told me, she said, one of my family members actually tried, something in my garden, and they actually really like it, right? I was like, okay. So we left and we went to go get more seeds. So we end up meeting this man, who was actually selling, he sold seeds, like little packs of seeds, right? And so, interesting enough, he asked me, he said, "Are you planting backyard peaches?" And I was like, I don't even remember what I said to him, but I did tell him I want some string beans, okay? So there was they actually had like a whole pile of like black crates, right? There was rectangle black crates. Within that crate, I could actually put like this different seeds in them to plant. In this case, of course, I wanted string beans. So I remember the man saying, he was like, it was enough seeds for me to actually put into the crate, but he was just pretty much telling me not to put, too many within that one single crate. Then he actually said, this is a way to single plant. I don't plant, you guys, so interesting enough. And actually, that is a desire of mine, to have a really cute garden and everything, and give me something to do. As well as, healthy, nice garden. I know where my fruits and vegetables are coming from. Joining my kids with it and so forth. So in this case, what I love about this dream, it was more so showing me that, okay, no excuses. You can actually plant, and it's called single planting, right? And so then I asked a family friend who was actually present. I was asking him for help, within the planting. And, but he said he had to work. He said he had to work out for 8 hours. He said 2 hours on each area to be comfortable with what he's doing. And then, so it actually can be a regular workout for him, and so that he will not get tired. That's what he told me. Okay, so that was actually the end of the dream. All right, so here we go. So what I want to say is, again, God is saying within this dream, like, you guys, no excuses. Like, even if you don't have a place for a garden, there is something called single planting that you can actually create crates, and you can start planting. And why is God telling us to plant? He's telling us to plant because in this season, you guys, serious. And so what I want to do is just start off with a couple scriptures, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the dream itself, okay? And so if we go to Proverbs 30:24 through 25, there are 4 things which are little on earth, but they are exceedingly wise. The ants are the people not strong, yet they prepare their food in the summer, right? Okay, so if you want to reference my video on ants, that's actually how God started me with preparing. Proverbs 30:24, the Message version. Ants, frail as they are, get plenty of food in the winter. We cannot be lazy, you guys. We have to prepare in this time. And just to talk a little bit about the dream. Interesting enough, you remember how there's another video that says God said Joseph, right? And God is actually raising up Josephs. And if you're not sure what I mean, please go watch that video as well. But interesting enough, in this dream as well, I was the only one with a garden. I had family and friends eating off my garden, right? And they were like following me when it came to the garden itself. None of them had a garden, if you think about it. I even had more room to plant, because I knew, from what I'm getting from the dream is, my family's eating the garden too, and there was more room for me to plant, so I wanted to go get more food. And when the guy said, "Are you planting backyard peaches?" my first thought was, it's another form. It could be another form of income if you wanted it to, because how like somebody could have a garden. You think about the farmers market, and they sell what they grow, right? And so with the man that I went to go buy the seeds for, maybe he wasn't planting, or maybe he didn't have the peaches, and he just wanted some, and he could have purchased that from me, or we could have swapped for seeds, right? Or whatever the case may be. Another thing that I love about God, you guys, he is an amazing teacher. Ever since he called me into ministry, because from when I was a child, God allowed me to see certain things that, even I would run to adults and be like, "Hey, do you see this?" And they looked at me like I was crazy. And I didn't understand it until I got older, that God was actually calling me to do more for his kingdom, right? And so ever since God called me into ministry, what I love about him is he teaches me in a way where it's not like overwhelming. Like, he literally would give me like one thing to learn, and then once I master that, he'll shift me into something else, and it's always something I'm just not aware of, right? And that's one thing even with planting, because I was like, last year God had placed it in my, no, I'm sorry, the year before last, God had placed it in my spirit to prepare. I just kept getting prepare. I'm like, prepare for what? Okay, but regardless, God said prepare, so I'm gonna start preparing. And I knew it was related to like food, toiletries and so forth. So what I started doing was getting a little bit here and there, and I, did what he was asking of me. And so, but now he's shifted to, instead of prepare now, it's prepare now, which is telling me what we're preparing for is soon to come, right? There's an urgency here. So even with the urgency, God, I love you. And I just love it how he doesn't overwhelm us. He's simply like, okay, you're having an issue in this area. Well, you can single plant. I had no clue about how to single plant what? No, because I don't do it. So, but this could be a message for you guys as well. If you're, are watching people who have gardens and all of this, and, they are, they're potentially planting all these huge gardens. Either you can think about creating your own single planting garden, right? Single plant garden, where you have different options that you can actually choose from, and just start with one. Use it as like a little project, right? Start with one and master that. It could be string beans, like I wanted to do, and then just build from there. Or if you think about it, another thing I thought about with this stream is with people who already have gardens. Sometimes you'll see signs out, like even with us living like kind of towards the country area, you have people who have gardens. You have people who already are selling what they have. You know, they have like strawberries and all of this other stuff, and you can go get fresh strawberries and fresh fruits and vegetables until you can plant your own. That's an option. You think about the different the farmers, you know, farmers market. Think about the farmers market. That's an option. So there's just so much outside of like your local potential grocery store, because there will come a day, you guys, that I can tell just the quality of food, like fruits, vegetables, it's not going to be the same. It's truly going to lack in areas like it never had before. And that's because, you know, you think about like the climate, you think about God's wrath, you think about, you know, I believe famine is coming to the land. There's just so much to me in this season that's going to happen that you guys are going to be like, what in the world? And you're probably already hearing stuff at this point where you're like, okay, this has never happened. I mean, you'll hear that a lot. This has never happened before. I don't remember the last time this happened. It's just, and it's because of the hour that we're in. Okay. So I don't want to just, you know, go on a rant and just keep going here, but just know, this is why God shifted us to understand what ants do. You know, they prepare all year long. They prepare for their food, you know, in the summer for the winter, right? So that way God wants us to live comfortable in the season, even though it's going to be so much happening around us, right? It will not touch us. And on top of that, if we follow what God's teaching us to do, we won't have to worry about living in a way where we're struggling. That's not something he wants for us, which is why he's warning us. So this could definitely be confirmation for a lot of people, warnings for a lot of people. You know, you're more than welcome to just share it, because again, it is definitely time to prepare now. And with the next videos that are, you know, that will be coming out, you'll understand why, and you'll understand the urgency behind it. Okay. All right. So that is actually all that I have in reference to this video here. And I will say, well, actually one more thing. So do you remember when I went to my friend for help, right? The one that actually was present to eat off my garden. I went to him for help to help me, you know, go ahead and start planting, right? He didn't have time. He simply said that he had to work out, right? His focus was on something that, yeah, having a healthy body and doing that, great. But that's excessive, right? 8 hours a day. You have to work out and do all of that, and you're more so working out so you don't have to worry about planting, but you want to eat off my garden? No. And speaking of that, you guys, make sure you would prepare now. Make sure you're definitely taking care of yourself, right? Maybe you can think about just having like 10% of what you're growing or you're preparing for. That would be maybe more so like an offering. So like if you do have a family or a friend in need, you can take from that stash versus your supply, because we don't know how long we need it, right? So if you give away all your supply because you was the one that took heed to the warning, while other people say, you know what, it's not important to me right now, I want to just go work out, or it's not important to me, I'm just going on vacation, you know, I'm not gonna I'm gonna, you know, go on vacation, I'm just gonna work my job, I'm just gonna you know, just whatever keeps them from doing something that is going to keep them comfortable in the dry season. Then, because how many people know that? Think about it, you guys. How many people at the end of the day, they don't take heed to the warning until the end, right? Until they actually start to see why they have to prepare. Like literally, it has to come to pass before they prepare. Think about life insurance, right? We purchase life insurance for a reason. because we're preparing just in case this happens, right? My family is fine. You know, my kids are going to be okay. My husband is going to be okay, right? And this is why we purchase what? Life insurance. Okay. You think about even when it comes to medical insurance, right? A lot of us have medical insurance for a reason, just in case we're preparing. So like if something was to happen to us, we don't have to struggle. And that's all God is doing. We're not going to be put in an uncomfortable situation. And so I just wanted to point that out, because I really don't want you guys to do all this work, give it away, right? Because you've been telling your family, you've been, you know, you're the one God is speaking to and confirming things, and you've been telling your family, telling your friends, telling your coworkers, you know, and nobody's really budging. Their life is like the same, and it truly is not. It truly is not the same, you guys. And I'm telling you, just because you cannot see it does not mean it's not there. It doesn't mean it's not there. So I know I just gave you a mouthful, but I'm trying to protect you guys. So I pray that you guys take heed to this warning, and that you go ahead and prepare now. Again, there's so many different ways of preparing. I hope you're kind of challenging yourself, like I mentioned in the last video with the ants. Just challenge yourself to do more, and so that way when that day comes, you don't have to do more, right? You don't have to struggle, which is all we want for you, me and God. All right, so we love you. Just remember, you know, if you're enjoying these videos so far, please subscribe, subscribe and like and comment. And there's definitely a lot more in store. I'm trying to balance it all for all that God has given me to give to you guys, especially when it comes to this channel, because this is really literally the beginning. And then look at my notebook. I don't even have like it. There's it's like, look, that's how much God has been pouring into me, and I've just been writing it down. So with all that being said, again, subscribe if you are interested and you're enjoying what you see and hear. Stay safe and test all spirits by the Spirit, and please go to God with everything that I share with you, okay? Because, God could be telling you to plant, single plant, and God could be telling someone else to go to the farmer's market. And God could be telling somebody else to go to your neighbor who's selling fruits and vegetables. So you definitely want to be prayerful where your food is coming from, especially, in this season. So, okay, so that's all again I have for now. God has definitely given me a lot more, so I'll be posting more videos. So remember, I am still in love with love, and God is definitely love, the author of love, and we love you. Bye.